Aloha everybody, welcome back. I'm going to talk a little bit about some tools and mise en place and how to set your kitchen up in a way that is going to make it easier for you to cook. So professional chefs, we have what we call the mise en place, which is just French for everything in its place. Having a system, having place for everything that you use is essential. So if you have a junk drawer full of things that you don't know what's in there, go through and get out the things that you don't use on a regular basis. Streamline your process. If you have a spatula that you prefer to use, get 2 or 3 of them. Whisks, measuring cups, make sure you have a complete set. Have everything that you need in order to cook proficiently. If you've got a drawer full of containers where you don't have lids and you don't have, things don't match and they don't stack, go through them and get rid of everything. Donate them. I'm sure there's other people that can use them. But if you're going to cook and you're going to cook at a high level, you need to have your kitchen set up in a way that it's going to be a pleasure for you to cook. So a couple things that I have, I talked about in my last video, is a binder with the protected plastic sheets that I can slip my recipes into. And I have a Word file that I have all my recipes in. So if I make modifications or I make changes, I can write it down here and then I can change it on the Word file later. That I can keep track and keep improving my recipes. Little tweaks here, little tweaks there on everything to make either streamline the process or whatever it is, ingredients, things change, but you could be able to make your notes on there. So this is called Cambros, and restaurants use these. They're tough, they stack, they're clear, the lids are replaceable. They're really awesome. You get your kitchen supply stores. 2 and a 4 quart is probably what most home cooks are going to need, but what's great is I have all my dry ingredients in these things, so that way flour, sugars, those kinds of things are all here, so I can see them. I don't have to look at, I have to search for anything. I know exactly this is oats, I know what my sugar looks like and all this sort of stuff. Everything's back at its in the same place every time as well. Get a tape dispenser with some blue tape on it and a Sharpie, so when you're done with dinner and you're putting your leftovers away, put a piece of blue tape on it, mark what it is, mark the date, just like restaurants do. That way 2 weeks later you're like, when did I make that spaghetti sauce? And you know if it needs to be 86 or not. This is called an anchor shot. This is a European style stand mixer. And I prefer this over the KitchenAid. A KitchenAid has its advantages, but this is awesome because it's an open top design. There's a stainless steel bowl, there's a plastic bowl, these beaters fit inside, they rotate, so I'm making things like cheesecake, or I'm making chocolate mousse. I can add the things in here on the top, and it makes it really easy. I don't have a big arm in its way. Things aren't, I'm not trying to wrestle my way in there with a bowl. This is a really great tool. They run about $700-800 depending where you get them. If you're short on space, the great thing about this, there's multiple attachments you get. There's a little dry port over here. You can turn this into a blender, a meat grinder, pasta, just like the KitchenAid. There's a million different attachments for this. But it's just a nice tool. And what I like about it, that it's really more, it's smoother than the KitchenAid. The KitchenAid's clunky. It shakes, it moves, it's, as long as I've been making those things, you think they'd be a little bit more refined. But the way this works is the motor is controlled variably, and it's super smooth. You don't have to, it's not janky at all. It's great for whipping whipped cream, meringues, creme brulee. I do almost all my desserts in this thing just because it's such an awesome tool. But the big thing is just, take some time, take a weekend and really organize your kitchen and get rid of anything you don't use on a regular basis. If you have stuff that you only use occasionally, put it in your pantry, don't have it right in your way. Like all my spices that I use all the time are right here. The spices that I use occasionally are over there. So if I need some, I still have them ready, but the things that I'm grabbing and using constantly are right in front of me. Everything that I use on a regular basis is that I don't have to move more than a step or two to grab it. And set up your kitchen that way the best that you can. Every kitchen is different. This is a commercial kitchen. Everything's open, everything's stainless steel. If I was gonna do a home kitchen again, I'd do all this as well. So easy to clean. It, wood where I live gets soggy because of the humidity. And this is just this super easy to maintain. So anyway, just a little bit on mise en place and setting up your kitchen for success. And what I talked about earlier is prep. It's all about prep. Part of your prep is having a kitchen that's organized and easy to access. So there you go. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.